Hey everyone, thanks for joining us today. What we're going to be doing is going to be a lengthy one. I'm going to be taking you through step-by-step tutorials and giving you ideas and scripts and text messaging and Facebook ads all based around agent recruiting. So I'm going to give you this Word document that we're going to go through. So just to give you a heads up on all the different things we're going to cover today, before I actually get into it, I'll just scroll through this Word document that you can download. And I'm going to be covering all the different tools that you can use for agent recruiting, and I'll give you examples and scenarios of how you could use those tools. Then scrolling on down a little bit further, we're going to be covering a time management tool that you can download, print it off. Every day is a new beginning, so every day you can gamify it, and you could be like, okay, every day I have to call 3 people a day, 5 people a day, whatever your number is. I'm going to give you this free time blocking tool that allows you to not necessarily prioritize your time, but prioritize your tasks. So we're going to go through that. I'm going to give you a copy of it. We also have an exercise that shows you how to filter out and pick off who all the brokerages are in your area by listing off who the franchises are, who the independents are, who the cloud-based brokerages are, and then you can break that down into an Excel sheet. I'm going to cover a couple of different places where you can get lists of real estate agents based on production. One of the tools we use is BombBomb for agent recruiting, so I'm going to cover that as well. Once you're ready to start, I'm going to break it down, and we're going to create a 90-day game plan for you. So you're going to have a 90-day game plan based on the following scripts. So I typed out all of these different scripts. So here's a script here. So we're going to read each of the scripts, and then as you're watching this video, you're going to find which one fits you the best, and that will be your flavor of the month. And that's the reason for you picking up the phone and calling and texting agents. So we're going to go through all the different scripts and options. Obviously, my scripts, it's just to give you a roadmap as to what to say, but obviously the words that you choose and how you're comfortable saying things, you're supposed to re-edit these scripts to be a benefit to you. So there's a bunch of scripts here, and once we get past the scripts part, there's actually text messaging. So I typed out a bunch of text messages because a lot of people, when you call them, they don't answer the phone, but if you send them a quick text message, they'll actually reply. So we typed up a bunch of very effective, short one-liners that you could use to shake the tree and reconnect with people that you haven't talked to in a long time. And I'm going to do a recap to kind of put it all together so that you've got a 90-day game plan with what you're going to start doing tomorrow for the next 90 days. So that's that Word document. Everybody is going to get a copy of that. I'm going to scroll up to the top. And then the other Word document that I have is some of the other things that we're going to cover today is things that a lot of people aren't leveraging that they should be, like their email signature, their thank you pages. So I'm going to go through, and I have a guest on the line with us, Kevin Yoder. Kevin, can you say hi?
I'm here. Hey, Dan, how are you?
Hey, perfect, man. Thank you for being today's guinea pig. So I want to use you as my example for if I was you and I was recruiting real estate agents, these are the things I would do. So I'm actually going to log in and show you how to update your email signature because our offices and team send a lot of agents to emails to outside agents, but there's a lot of wasted space. You don't have a call to action that talks about your company hiring or your team or anything like that. So we're going to leverage that space. I'm also going to show you step-by-step how to do a We're Hiring Facebook page post, and I'm going to boost it, targeting people based on their job titles. So we're going to do a Facebook page post like people are used to. Then I'm going to show you how to actually boost it, which is the easy way of advertising on Facebook, and we're going to target specifically real estate agents. So the message that I'm using today is We're Hiring. But you can reskin that and use any message you want. It could be about an event. It could be about an office meeting that you have. It could be that your team is hiring. Who knows what your message is, but it's the same formula over and over and over. So we're going to do that today. And I'm also going to do a Facebook Messenger ad targeting people based on their email address. So if people on this call watching this video, if any of you have an email list of real estate agents, you can actually load that into Facebook and target them with Facebook advertising. So I'm going to do an example of that for an upcoming event that we have. But again, you can reskin it based on whatever your future marketing is, but it's basically the same steps over and over and over again. And then I'm also going to do Facebook video views. So Facebook video views is one of the cheapest advertising options on the market right now. You can get a view for less than a penny per view. The problem with Facebook video views and the problem with video advertising in general is that when people are done watching the videos autoplay the next video, and you don't have control of what that next video is. The people don't have time to click and go to your landing page. So video advertising is great for building mindshare of who you are and what you do and what your message is, but it's not super effective for getting conversions. So say for the next 90 days, I'm calling everybody about our team is hiring buyer agents. Well, if I'm calling everybody, I would do a Facebook video and target everybody who I'm going to be calling with a Facebook video view ad, just to build that mind share and recognition. So when I do get them on the phone, they're like, oh yeah, I saw something about that. But I know they didn't have time to actually watch the video or anything. But it's great for building that mind share of who I am and what we're up to. Okay, so I want to be starting off from the top. These are all of the things that we're going to be covering on today's call. So I'm going to start off with the email signature. So this is a huge wasted space that people are not leveraging. So let me go to my email signature. Let me go here. So I'm using Gmail as an example. I don't know what you guys use. It could be Hotmail. It could be your own email. Like, I don't know what you're using. So I'm just going to show you an example of how to do it from Gmail, because that's what most people use. And regardless, it'll be pretty much the same for most. You have to go to the settings of your email. I'm going to click on settings. And then I have to scroll down and find my email signature. So here's my email signature as a real estate coach. It talks about my new group coaching program. I have a 90-day real estate referral challenge. I got all these different things that I leverage people to. Now let's pretend that I'm Kevin. So I'm going to start from the top up here, and I'm going to grab your email. So this is what your current email looks like, right? So I'm going to grab this information. Okay, so most people, this is what they have. Basically their name, their email, their phone number, a link to their website, and the office address. Sometimes you'll have a logo or a profile picture, but that's pretty much it. What you guys are missing out if you don't add something like this. Let me show you. I'm going to go to that Word document and add a call to action. So this one says, join our online training open to all agents from any brand. Claim your 24/7 access for free, and then here's a link to his training page. So whatever the call to action is, you should have something that connects you with real estate agents, and usually the best thing is to offer them something for free, whether it be access to your training, to your live events, or whatever you have going on. So this is what we're going to leverage. But if you wanted some other options, you could have an option that talks about buyer agents needed. Maybe you guys are hiring directly. Maybe you have something that talks about getting into real estate, so if anybody knows somebody who wants to become a realtor. Maybe you have a link directly to your training schedule so that people can see all of your upcoming events. You could have links to that, or agent testimonials and videos about your brokerage. So if your email signature just has your name, your phone number, your email, and that's it, consider adding some other form of call to action to at least initiate a conversation and start building conversations with other people. So we're going to use this one about the company training. Now, Google is really funny with how challenging they make it. Look, you would think I would be able to click this insert image button, so I'm going to click it. And on some versions of Google, you'll have a tab where you can actually press it and hit upload. But in other versions, like for whatever reason my version doesn't have that option. The only option I have is to paste an image URL. So that's a big deal. A lot of people, they get hung up on that and then they don't move forward with it. So I'm going to show you how to do that. I'm going to be giving you all of the links of everything that we talk about today. But this is one of the tools that I use. It's called Imager. IMGUR. So let me open up Imager. So Imager is free. I just created a free account, and I don't know who these pictures are. This is just like today's most popular, interesting pictures. Now what I have to do is I have to upload my pictures to get hosted. So I'm going to click this little button that says New Post. I'm going to find the image that I want. So it could be your profile picture. It could be your logo. In this case, we have a call to action. It talks about group coaching and to create a free account. So I'm going to choose that image. So here's the image here. So I'm going to actually right-click on the photo itself, and then I'm going to click Copy Image Address. And there it is there. So now I can insert it. It's a huge, huge picture, so I'm going to change the size of it to be medium is a good one. And then we actually want that to be clickable, so I'm going to copy the URL of whatever it is. I'm going to highlight this picture by making it blue, and then change the link, hit change, and paste the link. So that is extremely complicated. I don't know why they make it that hard for you guys or for us in general. But now, Kevin, when you send and receive emails to other real estate agents, this has a little bit more eye-catching. I think you'll have more people that respond. They might even just reply back to you and be like, hey, what's this all about? So it's free leverage. All the emails that you're sending people, there's wasted space. So you should definitely include some form of call to action. So there you go. So that's the step-by-step on how to update your Google email signature, and they make it extremely challenging. So you might have to pause this video and rewind and watch it again, but just go through the steps step by step. And then when you're done, you obviously would scroll down and hit save. So I would hit save changes. Now I'm not actually going to save those changes because I was just doing that as an example. Next on our list is the thank you page. So when a person registers for anything on your website, what normally happens? If you go through the exercise yourself, go to your website, fill in a form on your website, and what normally happens is a thank you message appears that basically says, thank you, check your email. You guys really should be leveraging a universal thank you page that has more of a call to action. So Kevin, we actually made you one. I'll email you this link after the call.
Great.
And right here. So when a person registers on your website that we made for you, this is the thank you page that they receive. It says email received, thank you. But when people scrolls down, it enables them to stay on your website. We have a video that talks about time management and lead follow-up because that's where a lot of people fall short. So they might watch that, and they can instantly download the downloads without having to re-register because you've already got their information, so you don't have to recapture it. And then we have call to actions over on the right, like company openings or becoming an agent. So don't just have a thank you page that says thank you. You guys should be leveraging that for more leads. You should be, where I discovered the power of the thank you page was we had an event. We did it in Toronto, Ontario. And, well, we had 6 events in Toronto, Ontario, and people were registering for these free events. And on the thank you page, it said, thank you, don't come alone, invite a friend. Well, we had over 600 friends invited because of that thank you page. Like, do you know how much it would cost us per registration if we were doing Facebook ads or hiring a cold caller? A lot more than a free thank you page, right? So all of your thank you pages that you guys do, you should really start leveraging them more. Let me show you an example of how I leverage mine. So it says, thank you, check your email. Did you know I have a done for you marketing program? Message me if you need more seller leads or buyer leads. So that's kind of like a universal message for a lot of my real estate agents who are interested in any of my content. It usually comes down to they want more buyer leads, more seller leads. So that's like my main message up at the top. And then it says stay connected. I mostly hang out on YouTube, but you can follow, like, and share all my other accounts below. So I'm giving easy access to all my social media. I have all of my contact information. And then I have a short list of the main products or programs that I want to push to them. So on your thank you page, you could have maybe a scheduling link so that people could book a time to have a conversation with you. Maybe you have video testimonials from agents at your office of why they love your brokerage. like who knows what you want to put on your thank you page, but don't just have it as a blank thank you message. Really leverage it so that people don't just close the browser. You want them to stay on and engage more with your information. So Kevin, we made that thank you page for you. I'll get you that link. It's just your website /social if you ever want to use that for yourself.
Okay, great. Thanks.
Cool. Okay, so now I'm going to scroll down and we are going to do a we're hiring Facebook post. So the actions I want to take here is I'm going to go to Facebook and I'm going to do a page post with just basic text. I'm not going to use a video and I'm not going to use any pictures. There's a theory behind this. I've done a lot of Facebook advertising and I've noticed when I do long text ads where it's a lot of text in the ad itself, but no image, we get a lot of engagement and a lot of quality leads from it. I don't know what it is because I know we all think that humans have the attention span of 6 seconds or whatever it is, and they wouldn't want to read it. But if your clientele and your audience actually is into it, they will read it. So we are going to do a text ad, and I already typed it up, so I can just copy and paste. And then I'm going to show you these steps. So when we do a Facebook page post, that's the first thing, is to post it on your page. Then you should share that on your personal profile. And then we're going to target the real estate agents if we can. And I'm going to do a big boosted ad targeting job titles. Okay, so let me copy this text. Copy, and I'm going to head on over to Facebook. So what you want to do is search the name of your business page. So here we already searched it and we found it here. And we have this message that says, go to the business manager. Because if you just write something right here, what's going to happen is it's going to post that as if it's you as a person. So whoever's watching this video, if you're the admin or the agent who owns the page, what's going to happen is it's just going to be you posting on the page, but you actually want the page to be the one posting. So if that's what you want, you have to hit business manager. It's going to look a little bit different. There we go. Cool. Okay, so now it says write something. So I'm going to click in here and I'm going to paste our message. Wow. I copied it, I typed it all up in a Word document to make it easy for you, and apparently it doesn't copy over. So that leads into where did I get those images that we could use? So when you do a text ad, it's really important that you use emojicons or icons. So there's a website that I use for that, and I'm going to get you the link to it right now. iemoji.com. Okay, iemoji.com. This is where if I type in the word point, oops, see how it comes up with all the icons that you would find on your phone? So I could be like, oh, I want that one. And I click on it, and then I can actually copy that, and I can use that on my computer. I'll be like, leads provided, I want that here. See how it adds just a little bit of color and it's eye-catching for the people who are actually looking at the ad? Let me scroll down. We had a bag of money, a phone, and hats. Okay. So then I want the money. We'll do the bag of money. Copy that. Doing this one little trick really increases your conversions, by the way. Graduation cap. So you can search anything. If you don't know what to search, because I actually know like the words to search, if you don't know what words to search, they have little tabs. So if you're like, I need like a picture of a phone, then you'll probably click on this and then look for the picture of a phone. So we want that. Oh, and there's the phone. There you go. So see how you can search these different tabs? It's just like the tabs on your phone, basically. Okay, so I want to read the ad that we're creating. It says, our real estate team is hiring both buyer agents and seller agents. If not you, who? Please share this post with them. Leads provided, technology provided, admin and marketing provided, plus more. Find out by contacting me. Join our system to leverage the time you have and earn more money. We're booking confidential meetings over the next few weeks. Watch this video and learn more here. So, Kevin, we actually made a landing page for you that your office is hiring. Anybody who's watching this video, you guys can make your own landing page. You can reach out to us if you need help with creating landing pages, but Kevin, we already did one for you. Then you'll add all your contact information. So you definitely want to make it easier for people to email you and to call you. And then we always add a PS. So it's in this case, we have PS, our new agent training programs, open to all agents from any brand. Feel free to join us. You can watch them from home, and then there's a link. So we have a link to your hiring page, but then we have another link to your training page. So whenever you guys do some sort of advertising, if you can, add a PS that relates to the people, but goes off in a different direction. Because maybe some people don't want to join your team because they don't want to be a buyer agent. Well, that doesn't mean that they don't want access to your training. So we're just trying to double dip. Cool. Okay, so let me go grab some more of those emoji cons.
Yeah, have you tried other formats such as a Google Doc to be able to just create this one time and then copy paste in here, or besides just Word?
So do you think there's another format where it can be made that way, where you can just paste it in rather than doing this every time?
Yeah, I do. I thought the Word document was going to work, and surprised that it didn't. So I'm going to have to figure out what I want to do for that. But I'm pretty much going to, maybe I'll make a Facebook post, because obviously once the Facebook post is there, I could just link to the Facebook post and people could just copy and paste directly from my Facebook post example. I don't know if that made sense, but.
Yeah, kind of does. Yeah, you got it.
There. Okay, and then when you pull your links in, sometimes it will pull image and a description, but usually I'd say 90% of the time it looks like garbage. Like here, it's cutting off part of the word, and like it's just not going to help you out any. So we're actually going to hit the X button to remove that. Okay, so this is just a nice, simple, clean text ad that we are going to publish to your page. Now, Kevin, before I do that, is there anything you want changed, or is all that cool for now?
Yeah, I wonder if the phone number could be, let me just see if I can get another phone number for you. That was the main line.
Sure.
Let me see. Let's try it. So 616, same area code.
Yeah.
2008448. There you go. Yep, that's good.
That's right. Okay, cool. So what you do then is you hit publish. Publish as a regular post. Okay, then you can scroll down. After your page reloads, you're going to scroll down and find the post that you just did, because we're going to do two things. We're going to share it on your personal page, because that's just free exposure. You might as well. And then we're going to do a boosted ad as well. So let me scroll down. So here it is here, right? So there's a couple options. When you do a post, if you want that at the top of your page at all times, there's a little drop-down menu here, and you can hit pin to the top of the page. Because when you post listings and when you post share-worthy news articles and stuff, it kind of buries all your other call to actions. But if you have one main thing that you always want at the top of your page, this is how you do it. You would click pin to the top of the page. Kevin, can I pin that to your page?
You may pin that, Dan.
Cool. Okay, so I pinned it. Then after I do that, the next step, okay, here it is, pinned to the top of your page. Then there's a drop down at the bottom right. It's usually got a profile picture of whoever's logged in or the business page. So I'm going to click on that and it's selected on your business page. But what I want to do is I want to hit the back arrow. Then I want to choose you so that when I hit the share button, it will actually share it on your personal profile. Now, I'm not actually going to do that because I think we did something like this last week, but for the sake of this video, I'm going to show the people how. I would hit the share button and then hit share ... That pulls up the post as if you're going to share it on your personal wall, and you can say something. So I would say, do you know anyone? Question ... and then leave them in. And you can share that business page post, but that will be on you as a personal profile. So all your friends and family that are connected with you, they'll see that. And you might as well do it. It's just free exposure. Now I'm not doing it. I'm not going to hit post because we did that last week for you. I think, right?
I think we did. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Very good. Okay. After you've done that, then you want to hit the boost post option. So this is where we get into the advertising part. So I'm going to show you there's two main ways of advertising on Facebook. One is boosting a post. The other one is using the ad manager. The ad manager, 90% of the time is a lot better, but it's also a lot harder. So I'm going to show you both ways. That way you can pick what one works for you better. So the first case is going to be the easy option, which is going to be boosting the post. So I'm going to click boost post. Okay, so here's the boosted post, and we can click the edit button to target who we are currently targeting. So let me hit the edit button and let's see, what does Facebook have? Facebook has it defaulted to the age of 18 to 65 plus, meaning everybody. That could be an 80-year-old, could be a 90-year-old. So we're going to remove that. I'd say, what's a good average number, like 60 and below? 55 and below?
As far as who we're targeting for recruiting, yeah, let's go there. 55 is good.
Okay, yeah. And then I don't know too many 18-year-olds. However, I do know a bunch of 25.
There you go. 25 is good.
25 to 50. And it's targeting Grand Rapids, Michigan. Is the 25-mile radius too large of an area?
No, that's actually just right. That's perfect.
Okay. Now, in my area, I'm in Durham region, Ontario, which is just east of Toronto. So if I had that set and I said like Durham region or Oshawa, and it was set to 25 miles, that would be too large of an area. So you have to know your local market area. Because you might have a lot of rural and stuff like that. That makes sense. But in my area, you're either selling in Oshawa and Whitby or Pickering and Ajax. Like there's not a lot of agents that do all four, right? You kind of pick and choose. So if you need to add more areas, you can just literally type in the name of the area here, or you can drop a pin. If you have to change the radius, you can click on this little plus 25 and you can lower it all the way down to 10, or you can go higher up to 50. So in this case, Kevin, you said it's good, so we're going to leave that. Okay, now underneath that, this ad, presently as it stands, is going to target everybody who's at a computer in this area between the ages of 25 and 55, which is too many people. We don't want to target all of those. It's got us targeting 310,000 people. Not good. So I typed up a Word document that I'm going to get you a copy of. Let me scroll down here. So these are all the different ways that you can target a real estate agent. You can target them based on their interest. People who are interested in the Mike Ferry organization, Brian Buffini, Tom Ferry, Inman News, the Millionaire Real Estate Agent, Buffini & Co., National Association of Realtors and Brokers. Like anybody who's interested in any of these things, you know they're a real estate agent, or at least like one step away from the industry. So we can target people based on their interests. You can also target people based on the school that they go to. So if I was to type in Ontario Real Estate College, then anybody who has that as their school on Facebook, I would be able to target them. You can also target them based on employers. So what franchises or companies do they work at? And you can target people based on their job title. So I don't know if I can just copy and paste all of this. Let me try this. I don't know if this will work. Let me try. No, so you have to do one at a time. Okay, so when you're doing this video on your own time, I would go through the Word document that I want to share with you and copy and paste each one. So you could also type it. So if I type in realtor, which I don't think in your area you target realtors, right? Or you do you?
No. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Some parts of the states, they can be in real estate, but they can't use the word realtor.
No. Yeah. No, we do.
Yeah.
That's good.
Okay. So see how I typed in the word realtor and it came up with all of these options? Look at the right. It has interests, employers, interests. What I'm looking for is job title. Which they didn't have. I want to type in real estate agent. Here's one, real estate agent, broker, job title. So it's kind of like a guessing game where you have to type in. So if I type in real estate sales, just kind of scroll down. Like I don't want to target people that are interested in it. I want it to be their job title or their employer. Okay. So for the sake of this video, to keep it short so I don't bore the wits out of people, I'm not going to type out each one. I already pre-typed them all in the Word document, so you would pick and choose the ones that work for you. Let me do a couple of the coaches just to show you. So I'll do Mike Ferry, the organization, and I am targeting this one on interest. So I'm targeting, and then Brian Buffini. Tom Ferry. And then you can also do like the local associations. So National Association of Realtors. That one has an employer, so I'm not actually wanting to target the employers. But if I had the National Association of Realtors as an interest, I would consider targeting that. So right now, our potential reach is 63,000 people. I don't know how many, that seems like a lot. I don't think that there'd be that many real estate agents in that 25-mile radius. Is there?
No, not at all. Maybe at a local board, like maybe try Grand Rapids Association of Realtors and see if that narrows it down.
What's the name of it?
Grand Rapids Association of Realtors. It's spelled Rapids wrong.
Is there an S?
Yes, there is.
Okay, so that didn't come up. But like for me, if I was to type in Ontario real estate, then it would give me all the options and I could just pick the right one. So let's say you take the time to go through and add each one. So you're going to take this Word document. Let me go back to it. And you can try all of these. Mike Ferry, Brian Buffini, Tom Ferry, Inman News. So try each one of those because those are all very, unless obviously not Canadian real estate if that's not your market, but try all the ones that you think are very accurate for your area. And then employers, you can type out all of the, so let me do, so this will be like a good example. Let me do, if I was a brokerage, I would target all of the franchises except for the franchise that I'm part of. So I'm going to type in Keller Williams Realty. And now what I'm looking for is employers, not interests. So I'm going to do employer. And then you do the same thing for REMAX. Employer. So you go through this Word document and add all of the ones that make sense for who you're targeting. And then obviously you go through and add all of the job titles as well. Once you have gone through and done that, it's probably going to take like a half hour of time. When you're done this, you can save that and you can reuse that audience over and over and over again without you having to retype it. Let me just see if I can. Okay, I want to hit save. Okay, so there's the audience right there, and I could just, obviously, the next time I hit boost to post, I would use that option and not have to go through all the hassle that we just went through. Okay, now if you're going to boost a post, you have to set a budget for it. So you're like, I'm going to spend 30 bucks, 60 bucks. There's no right or wrong number, but basically $5 a day is kind of like the minimum, in my opinion. So if you want to let the ad run, I also usually don't let ads run for more than 2 weeks, so for 14 days. The reason for that is because people get sick and tired of seeing the same message, and if they haven't, if it hasn't converted them by then, it's probably not going to convert them on weeks 4 and 6, right? So you have to constantly create new images and new marketing materials and new call to actions targeting the same audience. So we'll run it for, I would suggest running these ads for a 14-day period, but because we're just doing like a test video right now, we'll run it for 1 day, okay?
Yeah, that works.
Okay, cool. And you would obviously change the budget to whatever budget you want. Is $30 okay?
30 bucks, fire away.
Okay. I'm going to leave it at $30 for seven days. All right, check. All that's good. So I'm going to hit boost post. There you go. Okay, so I want to close this. So that's how you boost a post. Now, Facebook boosting is intentionally meant to be easier. That was relatively easy. So the next ad that we're going to do, the next tutorial, is going to be this. In this example, we're going to do a Facebook Messenger ad targeting people based on an upcoming webinar that we have. So you can reskin the message. The message can be whatever it is. In this example, it's an upcoming session that you have. Maybe it's a meeting that you have. Maybe you have a guest coming to town. Maybe you have like a office open house. Like, who knows what your message is? You can always reskin the message. So don't get hung up on the message. What I want to do is show you guys the step-by-step of how we target people based on their email address and do a Facebook Messenger ad. Okay, so if you want to run Facebook Messenger ads, since we're here, I'm going to copy all of this text. And I'll show you the layout of what we got going on here too. So in this ad, we have an upcoming webinar coming up. So we have the topic, it's understanding and teach real estate investing to your database. There is a description of the event. There's the registration link so that people can register. It says that this is part of our ongoing group coaching program, and it's free to all local real estate agents from any company. It has the live date and time, and then it has a backup call to action that says can't make the live call, get a copy of the recording by registering above. And then we have the PS. We are hiring. Private message us or contact and then all of your information, and we link them to your hiring page. So whenever you guys do Facebook ads about any of your other future events that you have going on, add a PS at the bottom, definitely about hiring and contacting you guys privately. All it takes is like the 1 or 2 that actually work out, or whatever the number is. But if you don't have that, you're missing out. So it's kind of like not leveraging your email signature. If you don't add a PS at the bottom of your Facebook ads, then you could be missing out, because maybe this day and time doesn't work for that person, and maybe they didn't read about getting a copy of the recording. However, their eyes are scrolling down and they see that you guys are hiring, and like maybe it's time for them to make a move. And so anyways, if you don't give that, if you don't ask if they want fries, they're not going to order the fries, right? So I'm going to copy this ad, and we're going to go to Facebook. Okay. When you're on Facebook, the easiest way to get to the advertising manager is to just up at the very top right, type in facebook.com/ads. So go to facebook.com/ads. It will bring us all to the same page. It might look a little different depending on when you log on. If you're watching this video next year, this landing page might look a little different. But what we're going to look for is an option at the top right that says create an ad. Now, before you create an ad, you have to have a business page. So if you don't have a business page, you would have to click create a business page. I'm assuming you do, so we're going to click create an ad. So I'm going to click create an ad. Now, it's going to give us a bunch of different options. What type of ad do we want to run? So I'll explain to you what the differences are on these ads.
Well, this is loading. Dan, can I ask you a question?
Please, break it up.
Yeah, well, besides the ease of posting it, you mentioned that boosts are easier. Specifically, then, what is really the difference between, because the boost, clearly we could narrow that down to who we wanted to have see that ad, but what is the ad going to accomplish that the boost does not, or vice versa?
Okay, good question. So looking on the screen, see how we have different options? It says traffic, engagement, lead generation, and messages. You don't have those options when you do a boosted post. So when you do a boosted post, ultimately what's happening is that post that you made, it's going to be in other people's news feeds, but they're going to have to click on it, read the text, and click on the links in it. When we do an ad this way and it says traffic, when a person clicks on the ad, it'll take them right to your landing page. So it's kind of a cleaner process of getting lead conversions. Now, the boosted post that we just did for you, we weren't purposely driving people to a landing page because it was all about just like messaging you and texting you. So that I was totally cool with doing a boosted post. But 90% of the advertising that we do is this way. For these options, messages. When you drive people to a landing page, say a person, this is the theory, a person is on Facebook and they see your ad in the newsfeed. They have to take the time to read your ad, resonate with it, and be like, oh yeah, that's interesting, and want to click on it. When they click on that, it takes them to your landing page, and then they have to reread all that new content. They have to take another action. They have to fill in a form. Well, you can lose a lot of leads by sending them to your landing page, whereas if you just send them directly to Facebook Messenger, it allows people to instantly ask you a question or reserve that they're going without giving you their name, phone number, and email. I know you want their name, phone number, and email, but it's easier to get a quality name, phone number, and email once you have a real conversation. So that's why we're going to do a Facebook message, because it allows people to engage with you and ask questions. And then you could just register them yourself, or you could send them the link and be like, okay, cool, register here. But you've had a conversation. So that's another difference. The third difference is that with Facebook ads, you can actually be more specific as to where your ads are displayed. Do you want it just on the news feed? Do you want it on Instagram? Do you want it on the right-hand column? Do you want it in the Facebook Messenger app? So you can be specific as to where the ads are shown and on what devices. Maybe you only want it on browsers and no smartphones, or maybe you only want it on smartphones. So you can be more specific. It's a lot more complicated, but you can be a lot more refined also. You can target people based on their language with the type of ad that we're about to do. So say you're in a very multicultural community and you're broke. So a good example is in Mississauga. It's very diverse. It's very saturated with different races of people. So, and some of the brokerages, real estate brokerages, are actually very heavy on one race, where it's like only Indians or only whatever. So if I was that brokerage that was primarily Indian based, I would target people in my city who are real estate agents that are Indian, because I know that would be a better fit and it'd be an easier conversation for me to convert them than it would be like a French person, for example. So you can target based on language. There's a lot more targeting that you can do with what we're about to show you. One of the things is that we can target them based on their email address. So we're going to do that right now. So yes, so when you do Facebook ads, you could do either traffic or messages. These are the two main ones that I would suggest people use. The lead generation, that is when a person clicks on your ad, it will automatically populate their name, their phone number, and their email into a form on Facebook. And when they hit submit, you get that information. It's a little technical though, because you don't actually get notified that you got a lead, which is really bizarre because Facebook will notify you when people sneeze, right? So you actually have to set up third-party tools to get notified of when you get these leads. So I'm not going to do that in today's session because it's just too complicated and I've probably already lost people now. So most people, the answer will be you want to do traffic to your website or messages. Most of the time nowadays, I'm doing messages because I'd rather have a conversation started than fake information on my landing page. So I'm going to do messages. You want to title it so that you know what the ad is. So this one was investing seminar. Okay, so see how we have kind of the same options where you can type in Grand Rapids, which I should do right now. Grand Rapids, Michigan, and you had 25-mile radius. So we can do that. We can target people that are 25 to 55 again, or whatever number. On the boosted post, we didn't have this option where we could target based on language. So now you can target based on language. And then here's where you type in real estate agent, that sort of thing. Now we don't have to do that because we actually have an email list of all the people that we're targeting. So we're going to load an email list. So I'm going to show you how to load that. It's actually up at the top. Create new, there's a little drop down. It says create a custom audience. And we want to use this option here. It's the customer file, which is a CSV or an Excel file. You can import people directly from MailChimp. I'm going to do it from our file though. Okay, so now I have to get to that thing that you emailed me. So let me open this up. So I'm going to show you how to clean up your Excel file so that you can actually import it properly. Downloads, Yoder. So when people export their data, just like this is exactly what I expected. It's got people's names, phone numbers, email, address, maybe even their fax number, their zip code. This has a lot of information, which you only need the one column that says email. So I'm going to click on the column that has email. I'm going to copy that column by right-click copy or right-click copy. Then I'm going to open up a new tab. So I'm going to hit Control-N, and it gives me a blank document. And then I'm going to paste it again. So I'm going to click in the first cell, and I'm going to hit Paste. And that gave me all of the emails. Now I have to hit File, Save As, and you want to make it as a CSV. So let me put this in my desktop. Downloads, Yoder, file. So see how it's automatically got me saving it as an Excel workbook? That's wrong. It won't work. You have to actually change it to CSV. So scroll down to where it says CSV and then hit save. Perfect. Now I can go back to Facebook. I can click on this upload file option. And I called it Yoder file. So there's the file there. Another way of doing it is just copying and pasting. You had a lot of emails, so we did it the Excel file way. But if you could also copy and paste if that's easier. We're going to name this. I'm going to call it Real Estate Agents by Email. So you can reuse this list for future ads that you do, okay? And you won't have to do what we're about to do. So once you've loaded it once, you can keep reusing the same list over and over and over. So I'm going to hit next. And the title was email of the column that we had, and we just want to match it up that everything in that column is email. Because you can also do it based on phone numbers, and you can do it based on a whole bunch of stuff. Email is the one that you guys are going to be using. So I'm going to do an email, upload, and create. Okay, it is now uploading these files, so we just have to give it a second. So 2,497, perfect. So it's not going to tell us the exact number just yet, but tomorrow when you log in, it'll have a real number, and it's usually about 60%. So if you loaded 1,000 emails, 600 of them will be accurate. The other 400, they just didn't log into Facebook using that email. Okay, so I'll hit down. Cool. So right now we're targeting everybody who's in this radius, who's 25 to 55, based on their email address. So I can leave all this other targeting. I don't have to type in real estate agent. I don't have to type in their job titles or their interests because I already know they have to be a real estate agent based on the email that we use. Scrolling down to the next section, it says automatic placements. Let me just show you the differences. If you don't want it to be on Instagram, you could remove it. What ad are we doing? Hold on. Okay, so I'm going to actually deselect Instagram. The only time I like running the ads on Instagram is if it's a branding play. So if it's you talking about your hiring, that's perfect for branding. But for like a call to action where we want people to register, I actually would remove Instagram. So I'm going to go down here and remove Instagram. The reason for that is because people are trained not to click on Instagram. You can't actually click links. You can now, sort of, but anyways, if you want to save some money, I want to remove that. You definitely want to leave Messenger on because we're doing a Messenger option, so you can leave all that. So scrolling down. This is where you put your budget. So you can do a daily budget or a lifetime budget. So for this example, we'll just leave it as a daily budget and we'll leave it at $5 because that's like the minimum. And we want to have an end date. Always, always, always have an end date. Because if you don't, this ad is going to run forever, charging you $5 a day until your credit card is maxed. So we click on set an end date. And they always default it to a month ahead, which is crazy. So we're on the 30th of this month, Monday. And the event is actually on the Thursday. So I would say run until the 9th. So it's telling me that we're probably going to spend about $45. So even if you don't get registrations, which like hopefully we do, it's still branding who you are and what you do to those real estate agents that your office is offering training to people. So it's like fishing. The more fishing rods you have in the water, the more chances you have at the fish biting. So you need different bait and different lures and that sort of thing. So this is just another rod that we're sticking out there. Okay. So you can leave all of this stuff as is. That's just too complicated for most of you. Okay. I'm waiting for your page to load here. Okay, so it'll have an option where you choose the business page. So you've only got the one, which is awesome. A lot of people are going to have multiple pages, so you just want to make sure you're on the right page you want the ads running for. If you are running an Instagram ad, you can actually connect your Instagram account. I deselected it because I wanted to save you some money, so we removed it. But if you do run Instagram ads, I suggest that you connect your Instagram account. It's going to ask you for your username and password. You only have to do it once. And then in the future, all your Instagram ads will be connected to your actual Instagram page. If you don't do it, what's going to happen is when a person's on Instagram and they see your ad, they'll click on the profile name and it won't take them to your Instagram account because they're not linked. So that's how you link it there. You can have different images. So a carousel ad, that's where you have like 3 or more images in one ad. So maybe every quarter, a good idea would be to do a highlight reel of all the agents you hired that quarter. And you could have all their different profile pictures, one for each one. And like, that'd be really cool. In today's example, we're just going to do the image ad, one single image. But a carousel ad is a pretty cool idea, especially for like, maybe you get a bunch of agent testimonials of why they joined your company and you could have different videos. You could do one for each person, that sort of thing. Okay, now I'm going to upload the image for our event. So all of the managers that are associated with me, every 2 weeks, I give you guys fresh marketing material that you can leverage. So you could just upload it. You don't have to worry about the size or the format or anything because we do all that for you. So here's the images I already made for you. and it's going to build out the ad over on the right. So here it is. Now I have to grab the copy. Copy and paste. And then I want to text it in here. So to keep people's attention, I actually would use like the eye emojis in this long format text. It's going to take too long for this video, so I'm not going to do it. But just add the ones that make sense for you. So if you want to talk about watching live, you could put like a recording here. It says contact us. You could put the icon of the phone. So you could use whatever icons make sense for you. But here it is here. So see how we have a call to action for people to register. And then we have a secondary call to action for people to privately message you. Now we're saying privately message us because we're running a messenger ad. And when a person clicks send message, this is the message that pops up. So right now it says, hey Kevin, please let us know if we can help you. So you want to change that. It's going to mail merge whoever their name is. So if I click on the ad, it would say, hi Dan, did you want a copy of the one line? All I'm trying to do here is nudge them a little bit to actually answer back and be like, yes, please, sure, or like, no, thank you. And whatever their answer is, I can then still reply back and be like, okay, perfect. Well, hey, you can't make this one. That's fine. We actually have them bi-weekly. Do you want me to create an account for you? It's free. And like whatever your conversation is. So this is just a conversation starter. So I would definitely add that. They have a quick reply. It says, I'd like to learn more. Totally remove that. Just, it complicates things. It's to create an automated robot, and most of you are going to look stupid when you set it up. It's just not right. So I would just really do this as a real person. When a person answers you, then you answer them back as a real person and have like a real dialogue. It's going to do much better for most of you. So there you go. That's what that is. Hit done. Oh. You can also so for your ad, I actually would add a call to action to your landing page. No, I want to remove it. It looks, I want them to just have too much thinking. So I want them, do you want a copy of the recording? The easy answer is they're going to say yes or no. Cool. All right. Yeah, that'll get it better. Cool. Okay. So we're done with that. You can hit confirm down at the bottom. So I'm going to confirm this, Kevin. It's going to run, I think it said 35 or 40 bucks for the next week. Okay.
Yeah, that's great.
Okay.
Right away.
So you can see how taking that formula, we just did a Facebook Messenger ad, people are actually going to engage with your messages. Now, Facebook will notify you of these messages, but if you want them to actually go to your phone, you need the Facebook Business app. So if you go to the App Store on your phone, on iPhone or Android, and search Facebook Page, or Facebook Business, it should come up and it's going to be a picture of an orangish, yellowish flag. You download that and enable notifications. And when anybody messages your business page, that app will be like your new messenger and you can engage with them. Yeah. Sorry, you had a question?
Facebook Pages Manager, orange flag, right?
Yep.
Okay. Good.
Cool. Okay, so now we're going to do the we're hiring video. Because I want to show you how to boost the video for views. So let me copy all of this text. Copy. Okay, remember I said Facebook video views is like the cheapest advertising you can do. It also is not the best for conversions. However, if it's a video of you and you're targeting your sphere of influence, there's a good chance that they'll just connect with you. So let me go to your business page. When you get to your business page, you have to click on Business Manager. Now, man, this internet, I don't know what is chopping up with it. So we'll try and load your video, and we'll see how it goes. All right, here we go. Okay, so share a photo or video. One of the options that I didn't click was a live video. Live video is very powerful. So in the future, I would consider or suggest you consider doing a Facebook live video, and then you can advertise that video for video views later. It's the easiest way to record a video and get it on Facebook, and it's got a lot of organic viewership to it, because when you're doing a live Facebook video, Facebook is basically promoting that the whole time you're doing live video. So I have a whole webinar that takes you through how to do that. Okay, so we're going to upload your video.
Love to see that. Yeah, if you would let me know how to do that. That's awesome.
Kevin, can you mute your phone for a second? I think it's
yeah, hold on.
Feedback.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Cool. And if you have to unmute it, you can unmute it later. Okay, here's a good video of you. It's got my name on the board. I know that's not me, it's for someone else. But okay, so here's your video. So I'm going to copy and paste the description of the video. Our real estate team is hiring both buyer agents and seller agents. Cool. Okay, so I'm just letting this upload. You can see it's uploading. It's at 85%, 86, 87. So if the internet wasn't so slow, I would have been adding the icons to this. To speed it up, I had to do just plain text. That's okay. It's still going to work. I wonder if I can actually tag you. Kevin, if I tag one of these two profiles, which one do you want it to be?
Lower one, not the one with me and my son. Oh, there you go. You got it. And then if you could change that phone number here, Dan, to the other. Yeah.
Say it again.
616-200-8448.
Cool. Got it. Okay, cool. Dun, dun, dun. Looks all good, looks all good. Okay, so I'm going to hit publish. Publish now. Okay, so that's going to be uploading in the background. So they're going to like send us a little notice. Oh, that's quick, actually. I thought it was quick. Hit paused. Okay, I'm going to let that do its thing in the background. I'm going to move forward and we'll come back to this. So I'm going to do a Facebook ad for video views after this video has been rendered. So moving on down our list, I want to go through this recruiting document. So these are the main tools that you want to consider when you're recruiting. Upwork.com. This is where I outsource a lot of things. So if you need somebody to create your calling list, if you need somebody to scrub together a list of all the brokerages in your area, if you need somebody to actually pick up the phone and do cold calling for you, you can hire cold callers on Upwork. You can hire people all over the world. So when I say outsource, I don't mean you have to like outsource to India and the Philippines or somewhere and pay $4 an hour. You could hire somebody in the US and pay them $15 an hour. You could hire somebody in Canada. What I'm saying is just get out of your own way and have other people do the work that you need done for you so that you can actually be the one on the phone having face-to-face conversations with people. Now, join.me is an awesome tool. It's a screen sharing tool. So a lot of times when you're recruiting an agent, maybe you want to quickly go through a PowerPoint presentation, sharing with them like the values and benefits of being with your brokerage. So what's cool about join.me is people can instantly see my computer screen without having to register or download anything. It's free, or you can pay like $125 a year and you get your own branded version of it. So I do the $120 whatever dollars a year, and I have my own branded version. So I can just tell people, I can be like, okay, go to abc.com or whatever it is. And as soon as they type that in, it takes them to my computer without having to log on and register anything. So I do it for when you want to explain to an agent why join your company. Maybe you have somebody that just joined your company and you have to take them through of like, oh, you download our logos here and you get the offer over here. And you actually have to like talk them through on the phone. Sometimes it's a lot easier just to share a computer screen and do it with them. It saves yourself a lot of time. So I use join.me for that. BombBomb, hands down, one of my top 3 tools that I don't do business without. BombBomb allows you to send personalized videos. So you could do a one-off video for everybody in your database and email it to them. Or you could do a mass email based on video. So you could type up a video talking about the next upcoming event, or your team is hiring, or whatever's going on. BombBomb, think of it as like visual voicemail, because most people don't answer the phone when you call them. So this is a way for you to still get your message through to people. And if you go to that link specifically, it gives you a bunch of free goodies. Boomerang for Gmail is the tool that I use. So when you're recruiting, you got to follow up with people, and some of you don't leverage your database to the best of its ability. And so say somebody registers for one of your events. You could boomerang all of your event registrations to appear the day after the event, and then you could use it as a follow-up. And you could go through and call everybody back and be like, hey, what'd you think of the event or whatever. So Boomerang allows you to clean up your inbox. Kevin was actually making fun of me because I had like 7,000 plus emails, so clearly my inbox is not clean. His inbox is at 0, which is awesome, and he's got a picture that I've never seen before, apparently, and so like some guy in a hammock. So if you want to get to a 0-based inbox, take a look at Boomerang for Gmail, because it allows you to get emails out of your email and then push them to a future date. Trello is a tool that we use for a lot of different things, but the main reason why I use it is for quarterbacking my staff. So say we have a new project and I need my marketing girl to do some Facebook ads and promotions about an upcoming event that we have. On Trello, I can coordinate that with her, and I can coordinate with the hotel, and I can coordinate with like all the moving pieces for whatever that live event is, and everybody has access. It's kind of like a team board where everybody can share and interact and save files and notes, and there's checklists, and it's totally free. It works on smartphones and iPads. You might want to consider that, not for everybody. LastPass, you have a lot of usernames and passwords in this industry, and if you're just using the same username and password for everything, I would suggest you take a look at LastPass, because it creates a unique username and password for everything that you do. And you can assign people in your team having access. So like, maybe I have a girl who does my marketing, so I need her to log into my Facebook. Well, I don't want her knowing my Facebook username and password. Through LastPass, she can log in. It will log her in automatically. She can do her work, and she'll never know what the username and password is. That way, if she leaves in a year or 2 years, I can just remove her access, and all of my usernames and passwords stay intact. Jing, J-I-N-G, it's a screen recording tool. So it allows you to take pictures of your screen and allows you to make video of your screen. So a lot of you are dealing with putting out fires at the office. Like an agent emails you a contract and you got to go over that contract. If you were to read that contract and then email them back, like everything that they have to do, I mean, you might as well just do it for them and log in and do it. With Jing, it allows you to record your computer screen. So I would just have the contract open on my screen, hit record, and it's recording what I'm looking at and my voice. So I'm just like, hey, Marianne, okay, I can see the contract. You see how they signed here and here. Well, you got to cross that out. You got to do this, this, and this. So I'm verbally telling her, and I can get it done in like 20 seconds as opposed to typing out a long-winded email. So Jing is awesome. There's millions of different ways that you can leverage Jing for marketing, for training tutorials, so step-by-step tutorials for your agents on like how to log into your system and how to get access to the logos and that sort of thing. If you could create a training manual for people, I mean, they'll still ask questions, but you might free up some of your time. And then this link right here, brokeragenation.com/managers, it has this recording is going to be hosted there, but then it has a whole sort of other freebies that you can download and use and leverage for agent recruiting. And it also goes over some of the programs that we have. Okay, so I'm going to go through this 90-day challenge with you. These are the resources. I have resources here. I have a recruiting webinar, another one that I've done. It's different than the one that you're watching right now. So that's at that link right there. And I have more YouTube videos. If you go to youtube.com/DannyWoodVideos, you'll find all of my YouTube videos. So I can definitely help you with agent recruiting. And I have a full live event that I can do in person at your brokerage. So I can fly into the city and do a whole half-day workshop or 1-hour seminar if that's of any interest. So that's my product pitch. Now I'm going to go into actually helping you out. So this is an ebook that I'm writing up. It's a 90-day recruiting plan that you can leverage today. Let me zoom in. Okay, so attention real estate managers and broker owners, below you'll find a sample business plan. It's totally free and you can do it over the next 90 days. What you're going to get down below is going to be recruiting real estate scripts, a 90-day game plan. It's got no cost to it, so you can just follow this and do it, and it's not going to cost you a thing. And it's self-paced, so you can do it on your own anytime. Start whenever you want. You don't have to start on the beginning of the month. You don't have to start at the beginning of the year. Start next Wednesday if that's when it works for you. So starting off, you guys definitely have an issue with managing your time. So I'm going to give you this download. It's a Word document, and I print off a new sheet every day because every day is a new beginning. So every day I have this, you can download it and print it, and I have a video at this link right here. So when I email you this, you can click this and watch the video, and it takes me and you through how to work this Word document. But this is the gist of it. On the top right, I have my 45-minute kickstart. And so for 45 minutes a day, before I open my email, before I answer voicemail, before I do anything, I have to do 45 minutes of what I know has to get done, which is either lead generation or lead follow-up or gratitude. So one of the three things I'll focus on for the next 45 minutes before I do anything else. Then underneath that, I will list off everything that I think I have to get done today in no typical order or no particular order. So I got to order up a new sign for the office. I got to get some new business cards for the satellite brokerage. I got to call Dan Wood to help me out with agent recruiting, and I got to do a couple other things. So I list everything out. Then I prioritize them in order of priority, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Based on whatever I said was my number one priority, over on the top left, you can't see it. Let me zoom in more. Over on the top left, it has 15-minute increments. You'll notice I don't start with 9 o'clock to 10 o'clock, 10 to 11. All you have is the current moment. So don't worry about what time it is of the day. Just worry with what's your next main task. That's all you're going to work on for the next 15, 30, 45 minutes, whatever it is. And you don't do anything else until you get that done. You get it done, cross it off your list, move on to item number 2. Chip away in a logical order, one thing at a time. You may not get through the 5 things that you wrote down today, but if you get through your top 3 daily, you're going to be light years ahead if you're just floundering where you're at now. And then down below that, I'll write out my list for everything that I think I want to do tomorrow. That helps me subconsciously when I go to sleep at night. I wake up and I have a pretty clear plan on what's happening the next day. You can doodle and make notes down here, and you can journal. So that's yours to have. I'm going to give that to you. You can download it and have it. Okay, so this is the 90-day plan. Let me zoom out. Attracting talent is a relationship business. Sometimes we need to do what we preach. You tell your agents to work for referrals and to follow up with leads, right? Well, you tell them to time block, you tell them to prospect, but shouldn't you be doing the same thing? This exercise is going to help you. We are going to establish your target list of agents to be calling, create a database or spreadsheet for the future to use, which Kevin, you already have, manage your time going forward using that time blocker, and you're going to choose the scripts. And I even updated, I'm actually going to modify that. Texting messages, because texting is really important for recruiting in today's world. So to start, you'll need a list of at least 100 agents to call. So if you don't have a list, you don't know who you're calling, this little simple exercise is an important one. If you don't have a list, start by picking your top 3 competing brokerages within a 30-minute radius of your office. Stay local because agents tend to work at the best brokerages that are the closest to them. I mean, I know a lot of really good brokerages all across the GTA, Greater Toronto area. And I mean, if I live and work in Durham region, there's no way I would go work at a brokerage in Mississauga just because they're the best brokerage in town. So what you want to do is identify who are the top 3 brokerages in your immediate area within a 30-minute driving radius, because those agents are probably going to be your best priority as far as agents to connect with. Now, if you need help with discovering who these brokerages are, try listing out 20 brokerages in your direct area. not necessarily based on who's the best, but just get them on paper. So who are the top 20? A good exercise is to start with the franchise. So REMAX A, REMAX B, REMAX C, because they're all independently owned and operated. So write out all the different REMAXs, write out all the different Keller Williams, write out all the different Century 21, Coldwell Banker, ERA, Exit, like whatever the other franchises are in your area, get as many of them down on a piece of paper as possible. And to shake the tree a little, who are the independents? Give a little thought of who are those independents that are in your area. Write out as many of them as possible. And are there any cloud-based brokerages that are encroaching in on your area? They kind of serve a greater area, but they could also be targeting your agents. So that could be a possibility as well. So with this exercise, the more the better, but try to focus within a 30-minute radius of your location. All of those brokerages that you just wrote out on a piece of paper, they should all have an agent roster page where you can search agents based on that. So this will give you the name and the cell phone number of all the local real estate agents who already work in your local area. The local association, sometimes the website, that would also have it, or like Realtor.com, Realtor.ca, that sort of thing, because you can search based on brokerages, and when you click on that link, it will then give you the brokerage roster sometimes, and you go through there, and they all post their cell phone number. All you really need is their name and their cell phone and the brokerage. Email, you're not going to mass email them unless you get them on the phone anyway, so it's more important to get their cell phone, their name, and the brokerage. There are some services that offer this as a monthly subscription. In Canada, it's RE Stats. In the States, Broker Metrics. They're not cheap. They're both very expensive, and they're contracts, so you need to sign like a one-year contract, I think. But they're very powerful. Kevin, I think you used one of them. And anyways, if you didn't, anybody who's watching this video, when you do Broker Metrics, for example, you can say, who are all the real estate agents in my area that sold between 3 to 5 deals last year? And it will put together a list of all those people. Then you can say, who are all the agents in my area that sell $1 million properties? And you can create a list of all the luxury agents. Then you can say, who are all the teams? And you can break down all these smaller groups. That way you can create different lists. That way when you're calling that list, you have a universal theme that you could offer those people that would people tune into what's in it for me. So if I pulled off a list of all the teams and I was calling the buyer agents, what's in it for them is I could share with them. I could say, hey, Joey, I know you're a part of a team. I just want to share with you that there's some people are leaving and starting their own team or going it on their own, because if they were to work on a team, do 50-50 split, they sell 20 homes. If they sold 10 on their own, they would net the same amount of money. I just wanted to talk to you about that, kind of share with you how that could be a possibility. So that's a good script, and that's a good segue. And obviously I would have that conversation with all the people that are buyer agents on teams. Now, obviously you don't want to start poaching team members from a team leader that you're trying to recruit. So be careful on that one. So if you do get a list, you want to save it as a CSV file showing the first name, last name, the brokerage, the cell phone, the date, and the notes, just like this. So let's scroll down. So this is the cleanest way for you to do it. First name, last name, the brokerage, their cell phone. If you can get their email, awesome. When you contact them, have a contact date, and then make notes. Now, I'm not telling you to use a CSV file as your database. You should definitely be using a database. But if you've got nothing else, a CSV will work, and this is the layout that we like to use. You can outsource this to somebody on Upwork.com. So once you have a list of all the brokerages in your area, you could go to Upwork and hire a virtual assistant and say, I need this Excel file filled in with the first name, last name, brokerage, and cell phone of all the people at this office, this office, this office, this office, and this office. And they will go through, and a week later, they will provide you with this Excel file done. Now you have your calling list. So for those of you that don't have a database, Agile Crm, I suggest you take a look at that because it's free, which is awesome. And they have paid plans that are very affordable. One, it starts at like $8 or $9 a month. I think there's like $12 to $15 a month and $30 a month. Like, they have very scalable plans, and it's free to start off with. So if you need a database, take a look at Agile. Okay, BombBomb is not a database. It's not a CRM, but it is one of the best relationship building tools, especially for agent recruiting. It allows you to upload all of your contacts and send them each a personalized video. You can also send mass emails. You can create drip plans and more. Lots of databases have those features, but the video feature of BombBomb is what makes it stand out. Think of it as a visual voicemail. Imagine this. Imagine you call an agent and you get his or her voicemail. You leave a 30-second voice message. They see the annoying message notification flashing on their phone. They're like, they have to check their email. They have to log in, check the password, scramble and find a pen and paper to write down your note of whatever your message was. It's just annoying for people. So avoiding that, use video instead. You hang up the phone and send them a voice message directly from your phone using the app. So on your phone, you can actually send people a video through SMS Messenger, like through the text messaging or directly through email. And you can basically say the same thing that you would have said on the voicemail, but now they see you. So they're building mind share of who you are and what you do. And they don't actually have to log in to hear that message. And it makes it easier for them to reply because they got either an email or a text. So they can just reply to one or the other. But if you left them a voice message, they actually have to log in, make a note, type out your phone number. Like, it's just a lot harder. So I have a promo code if anybody wants to get on BombBomb. That's the link there. And that's the promo code is Brokerage Nation. And you don't need to use BombBomb, but I suggest you take a look at it. Okay, so if you're ready to say, Kevin, I already know you got your list broken up and you had like couple thousand people on that list. What I would do is the exercise that I just went through of taking out who are the top 6 brokerages in your area within a half-hour radius and go after just those agents. Whatever that number is, say it's 300 or say it's 600, whatever that number is, you write it down on this piece of paper and then you divide it by 12. What's going to happen is the reason why we're dividing by 12 is because 12 equals weeks. 12 weeks is 90 days. So if I had 300 people, as an example, in whatever my core list was that I wanted to call, I would take 300 divided by 12. That gives me 25 people a week. So every week going forward, I just have to call 25 people, 25, 25, 25, 25. By the end of a 12-week period, I would have gone through the entire database and at least made an effort to connect with everybody. So you can see how calling 300 people is intimidating. Calling 25 is a lot easier to handle. And you could easily call 25 people a week. That's like 5 a day, right? So knowing that, make a game of it. Whatever your number is, I don't know if it's 300, I don't know if it's 600, could be 150. Whatever your number is, divide it by 12. Have your list into an Excel sheet and print it, so that you actually have a piece of paper. Here's my piece of paper here. And what you do is you count down by whatever your number is. My example was 25. So you would count down by 25 people and draw a line. Count down 25 more people, draw another line. You do that 12 times and you have 12 groups. So during week 1, this first group is the only people you have to focus on. The reason why I like a piece of paper is because you can make notes, you can scratch people off. It's easier to pick up where you left off. Because if you did it through a database, it's like lost in forever land. You just don't log back in. But with a piece of paper, you can be like, oh yeah, okay, I'll pick up from here. So keeping it old school works for me. This video I have here walks you through the whole process of how to take a piece of paper and break it up into a group. But that's what it is. So group 1, week 1, group 2, week 2. Now, I'm going to scroll through. I don't want to read all this part to you. I am going to get to the scripts. So we have multiple different scripts. So when I'm calling people, it's important that I keep with the same theme, because if I call 10 people today and I have a different call to action for each one of them, and then I call 10 people tomorrow with 10 different reasons, it's like I'm going to go cuckoo crazy and I don't know who I called, why I called, or where I left off. So I like to break things up into themes. You know how I said, like, go after the buyer agents and you're going to call all the buyer agents? Well, I would pick a script dedicated to that. So for the next 90 days, that's that one thing that I'm going to be talking about. Okay, Kevin, you got to go. I'll get you the video. So targeting buyer agents. This is a sample script. So I would say, hey, Joey, it's Danny Wood at ABC Realty. Did I catch you at a good time? Pause and let them answer. I'm looking for more agents like you. If you ever decide to go out on your own or start a team or own your own team, I'd love to talk about it confidentially. I'm just thinking for the future. You never know. Have you ever thought about it? So this is like a really cold, direct to the approach type of conversation. Obviously, some of you may want to soften that up. Some of you might want to go a little more harder to the punch, but it's a real conversation. So the script doesn't have to be read verbatim, word for word. It's just to give you a blueprint of what's the reasoning for the call. When you pick up the phone and you're dialing a person, you have to have an intention of outcome. What is the outcome of this call supposed to be? So it could be based on the buyer agent. Let me scroll down. It could be based on office training. So we provide office training for a lot of brokerages across North America. So it's a white label product. So a lot of those brokerages are calling agents offering outsiders access to that because it enables them to get access to online training. It's a really good touch for a brokerage. And so that's a sample script for that. You could even do it for live training. If you have any live events coming up, there's a lot of companies now that they're really dedicated to having a full training calendar. And the reason for that is for retention, to retain their agents. But more importantly, the real reason is for recruiting. They're trying to get outside agents involved with their brokerage, and it gives the manager or the recruiting manager a reason to be picking up the phone and following up with people. So you should have ongoing live training or webinars that happen, even if it's like quarterly. It gives you that reason to dust things off and to reconnect with people. Whether they go to the event or not, it doesn't matter. It's the fact that you're picking up the phone and reconnecting with them. Because recruiting is a contact sport, and a lot of the people that you talk to today, they don't want to move, even if it is cheaper or better to be at your brokerage. It's just like they're too complacent with where they're at, so they're going to stay where they are. Maybe you have a grand opening or a reopening. We typed out a script for you here. You can take a look at that. Scrolling down. Barbecue. Man, doing social stuff is key. There's one brokerage that I like to hang out with because they're always but every Friday they have a happy hour where it's one drink and appetizers for all the local real estate agents, and based on who the manager invites. So the managers, there's multiple managers, they'll invite like 30 people every Friday. It's a different group of people, but it's like a great networking event. Maybe you want to do it as a summer barbecue. This spring, it was a very hard winter. A lot of people are depressed and they need to get out and feel the sunshine. So maybe you could have some sort of barbecue or some sort of cookout where you invite people to get out. Simple script for people to meet up with you for coffee. That is a great reason. A lot of people would take you up on that offer if you just expressed a little bit of interest in them and reconnecting. Like I know the people who did it to me, I get a lot of people offering to take me out for lunch or coffee now to pick my brain because of the coaching thing. But when you're doing it, it's a totally different conversation. When you're building relationships with local agents, when it comes time for them to move brokerages, they're probably going to be calling the person that has the strongest relationship with. So simply meeting up with people, even if you did it once a year where you met up with your top 50 people once a year just before Christmas or the end of the year, that way when the spring market hits, you have a greater chance of meeting up with them. So free coffee, people love that sort of stuff. You could even do the hard sell of setting up an appointment to actually switch companies. That one's challenging, but I typed it up for you. Focusing on the numbers. Say you know your brokerage is cheaper than the other brokerage across the street. You could call people up and based on that and have a call based on the numbers of how it's cheaper and you just want to share that with them. New agents who started a year ago. So they probably didn't see the growth that they wanted. They thought that they were going to have a lot of hand holding and they didn't get it. The training is there, but it's a lot of self-serve. So we would actually keep a history of all the new agents as they joined. And we created an Excel sheet for January, February, March, April, May, June, July, for all of the months. And then next year, I would know when all the anniversaries are coming up, the people that are 1 year in the business. And then we could call all those people 2 months or a month before their anniversary and be like, hey, man, I've been watching. I know you're newer in the industry. I saw you join last year, and it's almost a year. Can you believe how much time's passed? We haven't actually connected. I'd love to meet up. Like, it's such an easy game once you like start niching things and breaking it down into smaller conversations and targeting people based on it. So that's another example. Offering them a goal setting exercise. So I actually do have a video on YouTube about goal setting. So any resources that you find online, especially YouTube, like Tom Ferry, Brian Buffini, they've all got awesome resources that you could leverage. So maybe one of these coaches or myself did a video that you could start sharing with people. Like maybe there's a video specific to Facebook Live videos. That's one that I did. So you could take that concept and be like, who are all the real estate agents in my area that would get a kick out of this video and really appreciate it? Write out a list of like 20 people, and then you call them all, offering that and be like, hey, yeah, I saw this. I'll send you a copy. You want it? And it's just like a gentle touch. They're going to be like, wow, man, that Larry, he's always thinking of me. Or man, Amy's always like got my back. So that's just another example. Time blocking tools. I have a time blocking tool that I'm giving you. You can give that to outside agents as well. So I'm going to give that to you so that you can actually use that. So any agents that you know have a hard time with managing their time, prospecting and lead follow-up, they probably need to manage their tasks and how they approach the day. So you could call everybody and offer them a copy of that. And I have a link right here so that you can download it. You can just send people that link actually. So send people that link and it will have the video and the downloads for that, plus other resources. Now I think I'm going to get into the texting. So if you are having a hard time actually getting through to people, and if they're just not answering the phone, you're leaving a lot of voice messages, why don't you switch it up and start sending out some text messages? So here's some text messages that I typed up that you can just like copy and paste. This one here, it says, hey name, so hey Mary, it's Danny Wood. I had a question, and this is a text message, by the way. If I were to invite you to any training events, what topics would interest you the most? Just leave it as a one word, let people like reply back. Not everybody's going to reply, but a certain few will. And whatever they reply, somebody's going to be like, oh man, time blocking or lead generation or farming or referrals. Whatever they say, it doesn't matter. Now you've got a segue that you can have a conversation with them about that topic and be like, oh, well, we don't have any sessions coming up, but I'll definitely put it on our radar. I do have these resources that could help you out. In fact, what if we went over it in detail in person? So like use it as a segue into having another conversation. Here's another example of a text. I'm not suspecting you, but you might know somebody I should reach out to. We're looking for buyer agents for a few of our teams. Know anybody on your radar? So that's a cool one because it's passively allowing them to get rid of you and be like, oh, not me, but yeah, you got to talk to Steve. I think he's probably ready to go. So people that will actually help you out with referrals. Here's another one. We have a cost savings monthly budgeting consultation I'd like to offer you. I think we can set up a time to go over that. Another one would be, we have a rebranding program for agents who switch to us. I think we could at least chat about that and plant seeds for the future. So this is a text message. If I got that from a manager, I'd reply back and be like, well, yeah, maybe, or no, or yes. So these are all like one word, one line things. All I'm trying to do is remind them of who I am. It's Danny Wood. Sometimes I would say it's Danny Wood at ABC Realty because they may not know who I am. And then I would lead into my question. Another one, I was going over the numbers and I think we can save you money. Would it be okay if I shared that with you? We have a training event coming up. Would you be interested in the topic? And I would list off whatever the name of the topic is. We have an office tour, meeting, event, or networking, like whatever it is. And I wanted to make sure to include you. Are you free to chat? So all of these are great touches that allow you to ask the question and then have like a one-word reply. And now you can actually like have a conversation, pick up the phone and call them. It's surprising when a person texts you, then when you call them, they'll actually answer the phone. So I have a recap down at the bottom. When you print this off, you can read it. You're going to know which scripts you're going to use. You're going to know how many people you're calling per week. Like, this is just going to cap it all together for you. It should be a simple thing. It should be gamified. You should be calling, I'll tell you right now, it should be 3 to 5 people a day. That is a really low number. I'm telling you a low number because most of you can't handle it. So if I was to say you should be calling 20 people a day, which you should be, most people would fail. So I would say if you had at least 3 to 5 conversations, not phone calls, but like 3 to 5 conversations with people that are in real estate, you had that conversation, then set up a follow-up plan, your recruiting efforts are going to be a lot better where they are going forward than where they were last year. And break it up into smaller groups. So be like, okay, for the next 90 days, I'm calling all about our office training. And then for the next 90 days after that, I'm calling all about our office splits. And then for the next 90 days after that, I'm calling about whatever. So have it themed. That way, you're not reinventing the wheel with every conversation. It's just like the motion, 5 a day, 5 a day, 5 a day. Now, I'm going to scroll down to the very end here to leave this off with you. Obviously, you're going to print this Word document, go through it on your own. If you need help, you can call or text me anytime. My cell number is on the bottom of the page. And these are the resources that we help you with. We give you agent recruiting tools and websites and landing pages. We do bi-weekly training programs that get rebranded as you. We hire cold callers if you want us to do cold calling for you. We have, this one's cool. They're all cool, but a pre-recorded podcast interviewing you, explaining your brokerage. So it's me and you doing an interview. It's about 10 to 20 minutes. And I'm going through let me show you the questions I go through. So these are the types of questions I want to ask you. How long you've been into business and what got you into owning the brokerage and running it as a manager? Like, tell me that story. What are your goals? Who are you trying to attract? What excites you about your business model? Some people want to talk about the cost savings. Some people want to talk about like profit share or sponsorship. Some people want to talk about technology or training. So you can talk about that. I would ask you about your location, your staff, and the facility. So you got plenty of parking, you've got a training room, you got a closing coordinator, you've got a marketing department, you got all this stuff. Software and tools that you guys offer your agents. I'll ask you about some scenarios. Can you tell me a story of an agent that joined your company that maybe last year wasn't doing good, but this year is? And it's me and you having a real conversation. When this recording is done, you could use that for agent recruiting because you could email it to people as a segue into like learning more about your brokerage. So I suggest if you don't do that with us, just take these scripts and do it with somebody in your office where you do your own mini interview and record it, because then you could use that for lead follow-up. Ending off, we also have advertising ads for recruiting and branding. So if you need help with any of your advertising, we can do that for you as well. So say somebody's searching on becoming a real estate agent, then you want to be there on Google. Well, we can show you how to do that. So we have all these options for you. My name is Danny Wood. I'm going to break this long video up into smaller chunks so that it's easier for you to digest. But I appreciate everybody being with me. Thank you.
Hey, if you want to close more real estate transactions, get more buyer leads, and get more seller leads, click this button right here. It'll take you to our real estate group coaching page. Also, if you like this video and want more, you can subscribe by pressing this, or you can check out some of my past videos here. Enjoy!